Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be the first game of the Out of the Basement tournament, and it's going to be my Orcs up against some Ogres. So Ogres are always a very good matchup for Orcs, and this one here looked to be even more so. I mean, it's a real diverse list, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you can do a lot with it, but for the most part, I just didn't see a lot of threat to me. Going from left to right, I have my Wolf Chariot, I got a Chukka Doom Diver, another Wolf Chariot, my Night Goblins, my Troll, I got my Mage and BSB in the bunker in the back, a War Boss with the Black Orcs, then the Savage Orcs, and the rest of my War Machines are on the right corner. For him, he has some Mind Eaters on the left. They're going to have Vanguard and something else. They mainly have great weapons, and one guy has two hand weapons. Nobblers or Trappers, four Blood Belchers, three more Man Eaters, and they have the whole snipe and poison thing. And with them is a Fire Belly. Then he has his Iron Blaster, whatever that cannon is. Then he has a good sized unit of bulls, and then there he has his Tyrant and his BSB, and then on the far right he has a Stonehorn. So with all my war machines, I'm sure the Stonehorn is going to go down. Foot of Gork should really mess up the rest of his stuff, and really it's just a matter of running up and killing things. As far as the mission goes, basically there's a fire around us, so at the very center of each of the short board edges, a fire stage starts there at 3 inches. Past this on every player turn, starting on the second turn, it's going to extend by D3. If you are in that fire, you take D6 strength 4 hits, and for the most part it didn't really come into effect, but I'll let you know when it did. So I win first turn, which is great, and I move on up and I cast the Foot of Gork. I put it on his big block of Ogres, it scatters off. I get to do it again, it scatters off. Then I roll a 1, and he smashes my Black Orcs. So not only did he get to kill 10 of them, I think it was, but he also hit my War Boss. I failed my Lookout, sir, and so my Charm Shield is gone already. So that's not good. Otherwise, you can kind of see where I got to. No real animosity problems here. The Black Orcs look kind of silly just because the left part of that unit doesn't really fit on those trees. My Chariots are all set up to counter his Man-Eaters on the left, which you can see how they vanguarded up. And I've already done a good number of wounds to his Stonehorn there on the right. His turn, he's moving up. His magic phase did nothing of importance. With all of his shooting, he killed some of my Black Orcs, a good number of them actually, and then plus his little shots from his old sniping guys did a wound to my War Boss. So all of a sudden my Black Orcs aren't looking too hot, and I'm not feeling too comfortable being too aggressive, because if they take a combo charge from, say, like the Nobblers and his Lead Belchers and his Man Eaters and the Iron Blaster, just for like impact hits and stuff, he could beat me and break me. So I gotta be very careful now. One thing I do like is that on the far left, he moved up. And one of the things I love doing with Chariots is slamming them through woods, because rolling a 1 only happens 1 in 6 times, obviously. And then there's a good chance you might not destroy yourself. And now I have it all set up so I can hit him with a Chariot in the side and a Chariot in the front, and those Man-Eaters should be gone. But yeah, it didn't go too perfectly. Let's see here. I charged through, and the one going through the woods crashed and died. The one in the front did some damage, but then he got killed with all those great weapons. My Night Goblins charged into his Nobblers and killed them, so that's out of the way. Moved up with the Black Orcs, went and set up the Troll, so it would be redirecting the Orcs, or his Ogres. My Savages are moving up, and then with the rest of my shooting, I was able to destroy his Stonehorn. This is the time of my dream shot, where one of my Chukkas had to shoot through my unit into his Ogres there, so I needed a 7 to hit, landed it, wounded the first Ogre, did 3 wounds, wounded the next one, did 3 wounds, and wounded the next one, did another 3 wounds. So, pretty deadly stuff, and all of a sudden I'm not too worried about those Ogres anymore. His turn, he tries charging me on the left with the Man-Eaters, they fail. He charges his Iron Blaster into the Troll. It does 2 wounds and I hold. His big Ogre unit went into my Savages and I killed tons of them, and then he broke and I ran him down. I just got kind of stuck at my Troll, and otherwise he shoots more into my Black Orcs. I think there's a point here, maybe it was even on his second turn or something, but he miscast, and he's not even a wizard anymore. At some point he decided to use Hellheart. I can't remember if it was last turn or whatever, but the main thing is we weren't really sure if you could use Hellheart if you're not a wizard anymore, but we let it happen anyway, and all I did was take a wound. So my war boss is down to 1 wound since of these silly sniper guys, but I mean, I'm pretty far ahead in points now. My turn 3, I pop my Potion of Strength, destroy the Iron Blaster, overrun into the Lead Belchers. Meanwhile, my Stone Troll is just kind of getting in the way of his Man-Eaters there. I shot at the Man-Eaters on the left and panicked them, so that's actually one of the objectives, and that's great. And otherwise, my Savages and Night Goblins are just surrounding him. His turn 3, the Lead Belchers are destroyed. I think maybe now he's into me with his other unit. He actually kills my war boss, so there's some points for him, but it's kind of, a little too late. Also, this is where the fire will matter because his Man-Eater kept running, ran into the fire and died. And then my turn 4, because things were a little bit mucked up, I charged 2 of my big bosses into the flank here, got the spell off so that they got to re-roll, and just beat and ran down these guys in combat, and he's tabled. So a huge win for the Orcs, and I mean, not only is this a massacre win to me, but remember I gave that whole list of feats of valor we're supposed to be getting off, and got tons here as well, because of course, I mean, you can just finish off the game. I'm going to get all into his deployment zone and just all these things here, so tons of things. Just a really good first game. In fact, I thought maybe I should have pushed myself a little bit more and gone for, after I'm done deploying, he gets to redeploy D3 of my units, but whatever. I mean, you don't want to be too greedy. One of the things here is I felt kind of bad for him. He was a really nice guy, but it's just Ogres versus Orcs is just such a bad matchup, especially if it's not a really optimized Ogre list, because, I mean, of course, Ogres, they want to get in and fight, but if you're up against an army like Orcs or say Warriors of Chaos that beats them in combat, what are they really going to do? So, that's pretty much it. Happy with the win, happy that my opponent was, he was cool with it. He knew that whatever, that's the way it was. He still had 4 more games and blah blah blah, and here we go, good start.